Okay, for this next portion of the project that we're doing here, we're going to go in and create this bottom half of this piece. Now, what you'll find out is in the drawing, when we look at that, you'll note that to the very bottom edge here is 1.473 from the bottom edge up to the center of the hole. And you'll also note in the drawing on the left side that from the center point of the hole to the bottom of this piece was 1.25. So agree or disagree that the difference between the two would give you the gap from this face to that face. So if that's the case, then what we're going to do is we'll put in a plane, and it will help us to locate that. So what we'll do is we'll go to reference geometry, plane, pick this plane. It's flipped the right direction, but on the value, that's going to be 1.437 minus 1.25, enter. There's your value. We'll accept that plane, and we're good to go now. Now, I clicked off of that plane, so it's not active. So when we go to sketch mode, we have to go sketch, and it asks us for a plane, and we'll pick on the outside edge of that plane, and that's going to be where our sketch will be. So now I might go in there and just look at normal to that plane. And personally, I'm going to start drawing circles. I like to draw the circles there. So we'll draw a circle, and we'll put it somewhat where it belongs. Don't care how big it is. Then we'll go in here and put one here. We'll go out here and put one in here somewhere. Out here, and again, I try not to let those lock onto anything when I'm sketching. And we'll put another one somewhere out here. And I think that's about it for now. Looks like. Okay, so now I can put some dimensions in. It says that I can go from the center here to this center, 1.563. Okay, then I can go from this edge up to that center of that, 0.688. And these dimensions are all coming off of the view that looks similar to this. Oh, I also need to get the dimension for that. Now, be careful because that's showing a radial dimension that's 0.375. Well, this is a diameter dimension that we're giving here, so it's 0.375 times, use the asterisk, 2. Okay, then we can come in here and put another one here, 0.75. 0.75. 0.75. And then finally 0.75. All right, now then we've got, now what I want to do next is I'm going to put some lines in, and I'll go a line from this center point to this one, to that one, and let's see, I really don't need this one, but I'll go ahead and put it, well actually I won't. I'm going to right click in the chain, and then I'm going to go from here to here, and then back to here, and I'm done. Whoops. Okay, now I need to change all those lines, and I believe if I hold the shift key that might allow me to do this all at the same time. Yeah, down here at the bottom for construction. Now realize that's in a different place than if we had done those individually. It looks a little different. Let's go in there, and I just lost a line somehow. And did too much. Okay, so if we just went in there and picked one line, it's going to be in a little bit different spot than it was. So keep that in mind. Okay, so they're all still construction lines, and that way if they're construction line, it won't try to read those as part of the profile that we're going to extrude. So got to go with that. Okay, so now let's see what we got. I guess what we want to do next is draw some, well, we can put some more dimensions in, can't we? I can put a dimension between this, and that needs to be 2.5. Okay, and I'll put a dimension between this line and this line of 29 degrees. Then I want to put a dimension in between this point and that point. And I just got that. I really want that to be aligned. Let's see. No, well, we'll just have to delete that. Undo it. Well, I said undo it. I guess we'll delete it. Okay, and we'll right click and do some more dimensions here. Let's try it again. Just have to make sure you don't move out too far. And that's 0.625. This dimension from here to there is 1.88. Dimension from this point to, be careful of that point, is 0.563. Okay, and that's all the dimensions that they give us on that. So now what we're going to do is add some relations between this line and this line. We want perpendicular. Right click up here and clear the selections so I don't have to get out of the command. And I want that to be perpendicular. Right click, clear. Go here and there. Perpendicular. And we're done with all that. And now it's a matter of drawing some lines in there. Now I'm just going to drag that out, drag these out here out of the way. Kind of clean it up a little bit. Not that I have to, but it just kind of gets it away from the part. In fact, I might even want to drag this out here. Give myself a little room. Okay, so now I'm going to go in here and draw some real lines. And I want to draw a line from here to there. Now that obviously is not going to be tangent, and I'll right click in the chain and I'll go from here to there. Right click in the chain, here to there. Right click in the chain. That might be a problem, but we'll check on it. Okay, now we have to add some relations. So we'll go in there and we'll add relation between this line and this circle, tangent. Now, yeah, that was a little bit of an issue. Note that this has got a coincident. Let's delete that. And we'll delete that one here. And we'll see if that doesn't change things up a little bit for us. I'm going to delete these. And we've got one here. And then finally we've got one here that I think we can delete. Now note we do have a tangent there. And we have tangent there. And it does show a coincident, but let's see if we can't get relationship between these two. Let's see, I got to go back and right click, add a relation between this and this. Tangent, that's better. Right click, clear. Here, there, tangent. Okay, right click and clear. Between this line and that arc, tangent. Clear. Tangent. And obviously we don't have tangents here, do we? Now we do. And I think, oh, let's see, we gotta get one between here and there, don't we? Again, we gotta turn off that coincident there. Now we should be good, I believe. Okay, now note that is not, because it was locked in, that's not far enough up, so we're going to have to extend that entity. Okay. And be careful, because now what we might have to do is check these. Yeah, look, see, we've got one that's need a little trim action there. That'll be tricky. Let's see, there we go. So that works. We'll rotate it, we'll move around here. Yep, we got some more trimming and extending to do. And we'll extend. And of course, we got more trimming to do here in just a little bit, and that one needs to be extended. This one I think is okay, but I still need a little bit. Okay, there. Can't extend. That one looks good. We'll trim, do some trimming here. Now, this is one thing I'm not too wild about. Notice it'll trim to the center lines and construction lines. Sorry, forgot where I was at. Wrong button. That was just a slip. Now back to normal here. Trim all these up. And sometimes you might accidentally get something like this. Well, you don't want to trim that, just go ahead and delete it. And now we look to be good. And note, it says at the bottom that it's fully defined. So we'll go ahead and zoom out here a little bit, and we'll finish the sketch. And we'll go ahead and extrude it. Didn't rotate around, so we'll rotate it around. It's going the wrong direction, so we'll flip that. It is blind. Note, I had already done this once before, so the value for that is 0.563 on the thickness. Extrude the boss up. Let's see. Contains an unsuitable geometry. Well. Let's just go back and see what we got. I thought it said we were fully constrained. I don't know what would be unsuitable there. It says it's fully defined. The only thing I can see is, notice we've got 2 points there. So there's it needed trimmed. Holy cow. Well, let's give him a try again. Rotate it around. Extrude. Had to pick at that time. I wasn't quite ready for it, so I'll go flip that back up. And there we go. It's just a matter of that. Oh, and you know what? I forgot and left something out of there. We got to cut that out where that corner is. So I'm going to have to, I guess that's not all that bad. We had two things go on there. We had a piece of geometry that was messing us up and we had to fix. And now we've got to put that cut back in there. So we'll just go back down here to the browser, right click on that, and edit sketch. So we'll go back in there now. The way it looks, we've got to run a line straight down into that corner. And that might be a little bit of a problem because we already had cut that out, or we'd cut out that arc. So what I might have to do on that is put in another circle, like so, and then draw a line. And actually that, I believe, is going to be right on that corner up to there. That's okay. We don't care about that. We're going to, we got to cut that out anyway. And then I'll draw another line from here over this way, just to wherever. And then we're going to go in there and trim this line out. Okay, and then we'll trim this out. Alright, so we're good there. Now we might end up having to delete a point there. Okay, not going to let me do it yet. And then we need to put in a fillet, don't we? So let's go ahead and put in a fillet there. And that fillet, according to the drawing, is what? Looks like it's going to be 0.063. So 0.063. That's in the note, actually. It says rounds and fillets at 0.063. And we'll pick the two objects, this line and that line. Accept that. And let's see now, we don't have any, I don't see a tangent here, so let's put in a relation between this line and that piece there and make that tangent. And notice how that kind of cleaned things up for us. And what else do we have? Let's see, we can actually delete this circle right here, I believe. Yeah, now see, we've got to bring that back around. So we're going to extend, and that extends that out. And what else do we have? I think looks like the only other thing that's holding this up is let's add a relation if we can between this line and I can get in there, that line right there, collinear. And now we're fully defined. So now we're back to where we should be on that. And we'll right click, exit the sketch, and it updated. Let's go look at that from normal. Now that looks a little better, doesn't it? Okay, so the only other thing is I'd probably turn off that plane so it doesn't mess up your view. And then finally, well, that's all we'll do on this one. We'll call it quits on this video. Oh, look, we got a little bit something sticking out here we're going to have to deal with eventually, aren't we? Oh, and what is that? That's part of that piece that came in. So now what do? We take this counter bore and move it down below that boss, and it's gone again. So, you know, we didn't want to drill that hole until after this was all built. So, and that's what that's telling us. So, good deal. Okay, that's the end of this video. We'll pick back up and put some holes in this thing, and put some holes in it, and then cut out this piece and put the hole there, and we'll be pretty much done with this thing, I think.